Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today we are starting our lecture Capital Budgeting. In this lecture we will learn investment decision, capital budget in details, features of capital budget, process, objectives, limitations, techniques. These 8 parts we will learn in this lecture. So before start the lecture, first I have a question for you. Do you know the meaning of capital budget? What does it mean by capital budget, or why we need capital budget? Bolen to, any idea about it? Capital budget is basically it's a long-term plan that outlines the financial demands of an investment, development, or a major purchase. It's a process of business which evaluate potential major projects or investment. How potentially you can basically invest your product, or you can invest your money, where how much money you need to actually invest in this business. These things actually we learn from capital budget. Where to invest money, where we need to invest money. Basically, capital budget it's involving the cash inflows and outflows rather than the accounting revenues and expenses flowing from the investment. If I take an example, for example, non-expense item like debt principal payment are included in capital budget because they are cash flow transaction. So here you can see the definition. Capital budget is defined as the process by which a business determines which fixed asset purchase or project investment are acceptable and which are not. Which things a company need the best investment, which will be the perfect position of to raise perfect a company. Then the features of the capital budget. Here you can see long-term duration between investment and return, which is connected with the shape of the organization's financial future. Then high risk process, which linked with the fixed long-term investment. In the right side you can see determine company's profitability, team or collaborate effort, significant funding, organization expect large profit. In capital market, it basically serves like a bridge where the supplier who have surplus capital that they want to invest or lend, and those who require such capital for various projects. Suppose as a market deals in long-term investment, the lock-in period of investment is more than 1 year. Whereas the capital market is overseen by financial regulations such as the Securities and Exchange, or like US Securities Exchange and Commission. In the features of capital budget, here you can see the 4 points. it basically provides a common ground for lenders and borrowers to connect each other. Exactly, significant fund. It's a significant funding source for the lender as well as the borrower. Organization where can expect large profit. The market function as the regulations set by the government. Here a team are work together to mitigate the long relationship between a lender and a borrower. The capital markets usually several intermediaries such as the broker, sub-broker, depositor. The market determine the rate of capital information. So there is a common place where organization or where a fund can actually supply. There are basically two types of capital market. One is primary market, one is secondary market, as we learned in our first chapter. মনে আছে ক্যাপিটাল বাজেট বলেছিলাম there is two market which is primary market and secondary market. Can you remember the term primary market and secondary market? A primary market is market where new shares or securities is issued by a company for the very first time, and the secondary market is one where the trading is already previously acquired. These types of market investors aren't issued directly by a company. Existing investors sell the securities for the new investors. Company receive no additional capital due to their securities trading, as trading takes place directly between the investors. Yes, as they are previously sold. So what are the source of capital fund? Budgeting. Estimating investment cost enables organization to manage and control their capital expenditure effectively. Selecting profitable project. Companies must carefully choose the most suitable project among various alternatives available to them. And finally, sourcing fund identification. Business must identify and select the most viable and appropriate sources of fund for long-term capital investment. Basically, this term will be happen both long-term and short-term capital investment. So what are the process of capital budgeting? First, we need to plan how I will do a capital budget. In this plan or in this step, you have two investment proposal are driven by the expansion, cost reduction, increase the production. না আমি তো বলি নাই এরকম কিছু বলছি Basically, the initial steps is involved in budgeting to identify investment opportunities and creates a proposal for it. First, you have to identify where I would invest my money, then create the proposal for the same. This project need to be based on high return so that management can approve them on the basis of the profitability. If I don't get any profit from this section, why I do invest my money? This is quite meaningless, right? I do not invest anywhere where I don't get any return. So I will think of the return first. Is this section is profitable for me, or is this part is profitable for me? Like এটা যে এমনই হবে যে নতুন একটা প্রজেক্ট করা, ইটস নট লাইক দ্যাট। অনেক সময় অর্গানাইজেশন চেইনও এক্সপ্যান্ড করে যে আমি আমার অর্গানাইজেশনের জন্য আই উইল লঞ্চ এ নিউ প্রোডাক্ট, সো ফার্স্ট আই হ্যাভ টু রিসার্চ দিস প্রোডাক্ট ইজ অ্যাকচুয়ালি ওয়ার্কি, অ্যাকচুয়ালি অর্থিক, or is it workable, this return is very high or not. I have to analyze those first, then I will make a proposal. Then this project could either be an extension of the existing product range or something entirely new. It can be a part of existing one, like hoche suppose previous ekta part chilo, like first time jokhon Pantene shampoo ashe ki hoche ekta flavor ei chilo, এখন কি হচ্ছে হেয়ার ড্যামেজের জন্য আছে, হেয়ার গ্রোথের জন্য আছে, মাল্টিভিটামিনের জন্য আছে, there is different line, product line. So this is an extension version of the product, or can add a new portion, like first just shampoo means only shampoo, then it comes conditioner, right? A new product line which is a complementary, it's not a complementary product, it's a necessary product, it's a product line. Or if you can talk about the pran, first chilo specific kichu ketchup er kothai jodi boli, tomato ketchup, just only tomato ketchup. Now there is chili ketchup, now there is chili and tomato mix, only tarmizer ekta ache, so there is so many flavor. It's an extension version of a specific product. That can be one thing, or they are actually launching a new product. It can be like a soy sauce. This is a totally different product, different item for a organization. They can also do these things. Then the evaluation or the analysis. This criteria selection to match mission, consider time value of money, analyze benefit, cost and risk. If the company based on short-term and long-term objectives, the project need to be formulated where evaluating the project details of the overall expenditure, time spent and the expected benefit need to be calculated and presented to the management in order to make a sound decision. This you have to calculate the time value of money, like is it actually worthy or not, analysis the benefits, cost and risk, like you can do a SWOT analysis, you can do the risk analysis, so you can have a clear idea about your product line. So when you are showing it to your management, you can show you the proper guideline or proper process that you are doing this and this will be worthy or not. Why a management want to invest money in your product. Then selection process. In selection process, approval is based on objective, viability, profitability and market condition. The based on the revenue is the main objective of capital budget. It is not the end. The expenditure still need to be controlled. The process of capital budget ensure that the expense and further controlled by setting the right budget. If you are not planned the right budget, expenditure will be increasing time to time. Okay, I'm repeating the term expenditure. Do you know the meaning of expenditure? I'm not repeating the term expense. I'm repeating expenditure. আমি কিন্তু বারবার expense বলছি না, expenditure বলছি. Do you know do you remember the difference between expense and expenditure? এই কথাটা আমি day 1 থেকে বলতেছি, আজকে কিন্তু আপনাদের কাছ থেকে শুনবো। বলেন, what's the difference between expense and expenditure? ভুলে গেছেন? সিরিয়াসলি, মানে এতবার বলার পরেও এটা ভুলে গেছেন? এক্সপেন্স হচ্ছে suppose your salary, I have to pay these things, salary, commission, wages every month, starting of the month. যেটার খরচ মানে যেটা আমার কাছে অ্যাকচুয়ালি রিটার্ন আসছে না, or যে খরচটা I have to do every month basis, I have to do it. This things is called expense. Or when I'm talking about expenditure, you are purchasing suppose a laptop. Are you purchasing this for month basis? আপনি কি প্রতি মাসে একটা করে ল্যাপটপ কিনবেন? আপনি কি প্রতি মাসে আপনার অর্গানাইজেশনের জন্য চেয়ার টেবিল দরকার প্রতি মাসে কিনবেন? No, never. When you are purchasing these types of assets, you are planning to use this at least long term basis, 4 to 5 years, 5 to 10 years, right? Then if you think you need to change, you can change it. But you are planning to purchase these things for a long time basis and you are benefiting this product 5 to 10 years. So these things is called actually expenditure. Do not mix expense and expenditure. So here I'm saying the expenditure still need to be controlled. That means আমার জন্য এমন না হয় যে expenditure বা আমার fixed asset আমাকে বারবার কিনতে হচ্ছে. The process of capital budget ensure the expenses are further controlled by setting the right budget. The fourth point is implementation. Secure fund, consider the time frame and cost reduction during execution. When I'm talking about the implementation part, the capital budget ensures needs quantify the total expenditure to ensure the fund that need to be borrowed from where exactly. A balance needs to be created between funds borrowed from different sources and the revenue distribution. Finally, review, analyze actual result to improve future proposal. In this part, you will see how your when you are implement a project, you can see there will be huge thing you actually find out that you need to actually improve for your future proposal, or for you see no I need to change those things because this is not cost effective, or if I'm moving this way I have expenditure will be increased. So you have to rectify those things, you have to modify those things, so future will be more cost efficient, your project will be more effective, more lucrative. So that's why we need to do a capital budget to reduce my cost, to reduce my future expense and expenditure or future risk. I will definitely focus the future benefit. That's why I need to do a time value calculation for it. Clear? Okay. Now moving to the next slide. আচ্ছা, বিফোর দ্যাট এই পর্যন্ত একটু গো থ্রু করেন, কারণ এখানে আমি অনেকগুলো স্লাইড কভার করেছি। দিস স্লাইড ইজ কিন্ড আ বিট difficult rather than the coming one, so you have to understand this first, then I will go forward. Here we can learn features, the process, selection and sourcing. So in process fund you can see this, at least এই স্লাইডটা খুব ভালোভাবে বুঝছেন নাকি দেখেন, this slide is very important. নো কোয়েশ্চেন দেখছেন আচ্ছা মুভিং ফরওয়ার্ড নো আমি একটু দেখেন এটা যদি শেষ করতে না পারেন দেন নেক্সট ক্লাস ইট উইল বি ডিফিকাল্ট টু কমপ্লিট আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে তাহলে লিমিটেশন থেকে হচ্ছে নেক্সট ক্লাসে পড়াচ্ছি বাট এর আগে যতটুকু পড়েছেন স্টেপ প্রসেস ফিচার্স আর ইউ ক্লিয়ার উইথ ইট ওকে